It's Wednesday. I'm Lashana Guy, and this is Good News Only, the show where we celebrate the stories that uplift and inspire us all. Every weekday morning at 10:30 a.m., we are recapping the good news only, the feel-good headlines, the community and local victories and wins that bring a little more light to your day. And I want to hear from you too. So if something good is happening in your world, a community success, a personal victory, a birthday, just something that made you smile, send me an email to news25@wek.com and be sure to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. Today's show is full of good news as always, but we will start just with a little somber fact right before we get into our other stories because it'll lead us into more stories. But for now, I just wanted to say I'm so glad that me and Sunny are back at home. Okay, yesterday was rough, and if you're new here, this is Sunny. So glad we're back at this desk where we can see what's going on and talk normally, right? That was rough. But thank you for hanging in there with me and thank you for joining me today. So it's Christmas Eve, right? What do you usually do for Christmas Eve? Do you have any traditions for Christmas Eve? I don't know. Well, we do have traditions. I don't know why I had to think about that. But we usually bake cookies and decorate cookies with the kids, go see lights. We always let the kids open one gift. And they all know it's going to be pajamas. And maybe like one, depending on how old they are, one little trinket or something. But and then, so in our pajamas, we do everything, including ride around to see the Christmas lights. But we bake our cookies and all of that. And usually we cook a little bit and we make for the next day, right, for Christmas. And then we make hot chocolate. And I usually spike some. And we just have a good time for Christmas Eve. What do you guys do? Let me know what some of your Christmas Eve traditions are. Send me that email at news25wek.com and remember to put Shauna in that subject line so I don't miss it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. Am I looking forward? I'm looking forward to Christmas a little bit. It came so fast. I can't believe it's here already. I went to the mall yesterday and that was packed crazy. Ulta was out of control. So many people in Ulta, which I mean, I understand why, but oh my goodness. I took my niece to find a gift last minute for her mom and it was a busy one. I don't know why I wait to the last minute knowing I'm somebody who hates to go to the store. And I know why I hate to go to the store. I don't like being around a lot of people. And then, some people still don't understand that personal space. It's still COVID out here. And before that, I liked my personal space. So I don't like being in crowded situations. And still, I continue to wait to the last minute. I wonder if who else is like that. Like, are you like that? Do you hate going to the store? Like, I would ride around the parking lot of a gas station if there are too many cars there. I've ridden around the parking lot of the grocery store, several grocery stores, before deciding just to go home and go to bed hungry because I didn't want to be around so many people. So why I continue to wait till the last minute to go to that grocery store or to go and Christmas shop, I will never, ever, ever know. But don't forget, if you hear the buzzer here in just a second, it's because we are going to break. So I just wanted to make sure for anybody who is new here that you know that we are going to break and you'll hear the little buzzer. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the state of mental health in this country, and then we're going to talk about what Illinois is doing in the realm of mental health here at home. And then we'll talk about some Santas and the great things, fun things they are doing for the holiday season. So we will be right back. Oh, it's supposed to be, oh, it is, okay. And that's going to throw me off just a smidge bit. Welcome back. So, we begin with a sobering look at the state of mental health for Americans nationwide. So, a new West Health Gallup poll shows that the confidence in mental health or mental well being in Americans, for the most part, is slipping. It's started slipping, and that's unfortunate. For the first time ever, fewer than 30% of adults rate their mental health as excellent. And I wonder if the poll is also, or if they take any information from the questionnaires they ask you when you go to the doctor about your mental health, how you're doing. And I guess they don't ask you to rate it. I don't, at least not at my doctor. It's always how many days out of a week I've felt, or a month I have felt hopeless or sad or something like that. And so it's just interesting that fewer than 30% say that they are in excellent. But who's in excellent every day? Like I wouldn't. Excellent. I don't know. I'm always annoyed by something. I don't know that my mental. I mean, I don't know. I'm in a good mood times, but I don't know if who would rate it as excellent. I don't know. Anyway, that's a sharp 13 point drop over the past 6 years, and researchers point to COVID-19, which that definitely is understandable as a major turning point, with ratings falling dramatically in 2020 and never fully rebounding. I could see that. And during COVID, I had a great time. Not during COVID. I had a great time during the lockdown, because that meant, of course, I couldn't go much of anywhere and nobody could come to my house, or I couldn't go to the store. It was wonderful. There was nobody on the roads. That part of it was good, but I didn't realize until then just how much most normal people, right, aside from myself, really need human connection. And a lot of people were depressed about not being able to be around other human beings. That was really eye-opening for me in terms of just understanding that there are people who actually need human connection to be okay mentally and emotionally. And I mean, so this study definitely makes sense in terms of the state of mental health dropping during COVID and not recovering. But let me tell you what Illinois is doing in terms of mental health. So a new bipartisan Illinois law aims to reduce confusion in special education classrooms. The legislation clarifies who can access student mental health and developmental records. Parents and guardians will now have greater authority over records regardless of a child's age. Lawmakers say the change empowers families and helps schools better support students, and I love that. So the law passed unanimously and takes effect January 1st. I think it's really good for parents to be able to have more control over their child's information and ultimately be more involved in what goes on with their child and their education and their mental health. There's lots of information of ours that we just have out every day, even in schools, and I think it's important to be able to have your hand and your eye on that stuff, especially for our young people. So great job, Illinois. And when we come back, we're going to go to break here in just a second. And when we come back, we'll talk about a new law that Illinois has that will require AEDs at all assisted living facilities, which I'm shocked that it's not already there. I'm just surprised that it's not already the case here in Illinois or anywhere. I would have thought that they would have had to do that. So we'll talk about that next after the break. Welcome back. So, Illinois lawmakers are focused on saving lives here in the state. Healthcare staff. So, a new law will require AEDs at all assisted living and shared housing facilities. Healthcare staff will also be trained to use defibrillators in emergencies. I'm shocked that that wasn't like commonplace. While more than half of nursing homes already have AEDs, sponsors say 100% coverage is essential. Okay. So the plan passed unanimously in Springfield, and facilities have until January 1st as well for this, before this law takes effect, and they have to comply. And they have until, actually, it's January 1st of 2030 to comply. Ooh, that's a long time. But I guess there are a lot of moving parts to being able to get people trained and getting these things in and bought and paid for, however they get the funding for those things. So congrats and great job, Illinois, for caring about the lives of its citizens. And now we're going to move on to more news and talk about the sweet little story out of Florida. So 19 Florida children found their forever families during a Home for the Holidays adoption event. That is very interesting. They have events like that, but I guess it makes sense, I guess. So, for these kids, the annual celebration took place in Jacksonville, and it filled a courtroom with emotion. Children adopted ranged from infants to teenagers, including several older kids, which I think is so great because they don't typically have good luck being adopted as they get older. One teen, whose name is Wyatt Main, he says he's most excited for everyday family first. His family, his adoptive family, were saying that most people don't think that there are many firsts left to experience with older kids who've been adopted, but that they have experienced many firsts with him. Taking his first games, first time out of the country, and first time something with school he did. This is one of his adoptive parents, his mom, and so she was saying that she just looks forward to doing all those firsts with him. Organizers say the event highlights the power of community and connection during the holidays. I just cannot imagine being a child during the holidays and not having what it feels like, right? Like what it looks like everybody else your age has, which is a family and a home filled with love and tradition. So congratulations to all of them. Wyatt he's been in foster care for 3 years, I believe they said, and he was waiting to be adopted. These two, his parents here, are both in law enforcement. I believe both of them are police officers to some capacity, and the dad came in contact with Wyatt because he got arrested or something, had to be picked up for being a little naughty, and he decided at that point he was going to take Wyatt into his home, and he has been with him and his wife ever since, and they said he is an absolute delight, nothing like what one would expect a child who has had the police called on them, or who has had to have contact in that way with the police. I think it just shows you that people at the end of the day, love does a lot. When you feel genuinely loved and cared about, I think that heals. What do they say? Love covers a multitude of sin. But I think it heals a lot in one's heart when they know that someone just loves them, especially kids. Kids will sometimes act out when they feel like no one cares about them. So we'll talk more about the good news going on all around the country when we come back. Welcome back. And speaking of holiday magic, so some elementary children in St. Louis were surprised with something so sweet. Every student at a Missouri elementary school received Christmas gifts or a Christmas gift this year. A St. Louis philanthropist, he partnered with teachers and volunteers to surprise all 447 students in the school. The school gym was transformed into a holiday wonderland filled with toys and joy. Can you imagine that? Like, it probably felt like what it used to feel like for me to walk into Toys R Us. It probably felt like just like an oasis. Like it was probably amazing for these kids. It's so good. So the donor says his own childhood hardships inspired his mission to give back, and so he has made it his life's mission all around St. Louis and the country when he can to give back to not just adults and other organizations, but specifically children who are in need. So the school leaders say the moment sent a lasting message to the students, and that is that every child matters. Look at their little faces; they're so happy. It's so sweet, so sweet. Just you never know what one good deed will do and the difference that it'll make in a child's life. And now to a dramatic don't mess with my moment caught on camera. So surveillance video shows a Los Angeles mother confronting burglars at her home. This is so scary. So after learning that her house was being targeted, she rushed back and struck the suspect's getaway car. Like, that is so crazy. So her mom was at home. She went out to get coffee, and her mom stayed home with her kids, and she was on the phone talking to her mother when her mother started to scream because she saw these men running toward the house and jumping over their back gate. And so the woman was only up the street just a little bit, and at the mom's screaming, she turned around, and that's what she did. I don't know how did she, my question is, how did she see them from way back there? I would think because they're coming from the house to the side of the street to get in the car. How did she see them from way back there? Maybe she had it on camera on her phone. Maybe on a Ring cam, but and how did she know that that was their car? I don't know. Either way, she is a quick thinker, and she did exactly what needed to be done. I hope her house remains safe. She says that she hopes to send the message to anybody else who tries it again that she's not the one. So the burglars fled on foot, leaving behind the damaged vehicle, and the police later found identification inside the car, so that's hopeful. The mother says she acted to protect her family as the suspects escaped. So great job to her. I'm glad everybody turned out safe. That is definitely good news. We will have more when we come back.